Hey everybody, it's me, Ronnie Rucker, once again, as always. We do have a couple members of the band Standing Shadows here today, Dan Silver and Michael from the band. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Doing great.
Right on. Thanks for hanging out with us this week. I appreciate it a lot. Before we get into like you guys do a lot of these interviews, right?
We've done some, yeah, a
Yeah.
few times.
How many times have you like flaked on a person, like last minute with a flurry of emails?
We usually do. We usually come through, man. We do everything.
Okay, good. I had a whole bunch of flakes today. I
Oh,
told you. I told you earlier that I had a bunch. I just wanted to. I don't know. Anyways, okay, let's get into this.
we could vent. I think that's good.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything to vent about? What? I turned to the whiskey drink already, and it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been such a rough morning today. Mm. Let's get into it.
Yeah, all right. Let's.
How long have you guys been playing together?
Mike, why don't you start that answer?
As a band, we've been playing a little over 2 years. That's about it. Yeah, a couple years.
We just had our 2-year anniversary. I think it was in October.
Yeah, 2 year anniversary, October.
Did you guys like play in other bands and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we've all been part of other musical projects and been playing our entire lives.
Yep.
Singer and I have known each other for quite a bit.
You guys are kind of like are kind of have done a lot of things that a band that's 2 years old haven't had the opportunity of doing. Like being all over TV and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. I really want to talk to you about that if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Let's chat about it.
Okay, you guys have been on some shit. You've been on some TV shows like The Shield and The Cleaner and some fucking video games. And
Yeah.
not every band that is 2 years old gets that opportunity because that's kind of big, right?
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. The exposure's great, and these are big Hollywood projects.
How does a band make that happen? I talk to a lot of bands, and are you guys actively pursuing that kind of stuff, or are they coming after you?
It's a combination. When we started this band, we decided we would try to really get our business part of it kind of together on the early side. We've just been in a lot of bands in the past, or I have, and I wanted to have a few things just organized well, so that like as we break out, like the idea of getting exposure can happen at the same time. So we have a licensing representative that deals with the film and TV community, and they help us get our stuff played. So they're pitching our material, and I think now we're getting some presence in that market, and people are starting to just use it on their own, and get it on their shows.
What kind of benefits have you gotten from making that move? Because this is something that most bands don't think about, right?
Well, I think there's a lot of bands trying to get their material out to those who pick the music on their own. And from what I've learned, it's much better to have a representative, just like having a record deal, just like having someone who pushes your stuff to radio. You kind of need someone other than the band calling those people up, because that's who they want to deal with. The thing that we benefit probably the most is actually being able to afford a few things that we're now doing. Actually made a few dollars. So that's pretty fucking sweet. And you're just getting a larger audience, getting the credibility.
What do you say about the people that say that that's selling out?
Well, it's not even close to selling it.
That's hot.
I say fuck them.
Cool. Good for you, bro, because I say fuck them too. I get it all the time, bro. I get people telling me, yo, don't do that commercial. Don't do that shit. I'm like, fuck, man. They tell me fucking you're selling out. I'm saying I'm buying the fuck in. I'm trying to fucking get out there.
See, selling out means something completely different to me. It means like, let's say some diaper commercial wants you to write a jingle as the band about diapers. That's selling out.
Right.
But having 90210 feature your song in the background of a scene that all the kids are watching, that's just they're featuring the band. That's it.
Yeah.
They're promoting the band.
Yeah, fuck all those other people. Now, I talk to a lot of
out. That's all.
Yeah. So I talk to a lot of bands, and not very many people are doing that. A lot of the people that I talk to are always like, it's all about just giving your music away, get it out there, And most people that I talk to, that's what they're doing. It's Bandcamp, etc. I went looking, and you guys just sell stuff, right? You guys aren't giving it away for free, right?
Well, actually, we are.
Oh, okay.
There's several ways. Usually, almost daily, especially around our releases, we're putting something up on our Facebook for free. There's always some kind of link to go grab the new. Like right now, we're giving away songs from our new EP. It's not even released yet. We also have like a member section on the website. You can log in and there's freebies there. So yeah, we're doing all that, and even some of these like placements, you know, they don't all necessarily pay big dollars. You know, we want people to grab the music, even if it means giving it away. We give away CDs at every show. We're handing out T-shirts at shows. So yeah, we're constantly doing it.
That's hot. Yeah, I've always asked people that, like, because you know, a lot of people, it's always like, we got to give it away, we got to give it away, and so, but yeah, you guys have been referred to, or you know, I listen to your music. I've spent a few days here listening to this stuff, and
Nice.
you know, I don't really try. If I hear a band and I go, oh yeah, they sound like a certain band, then it's like, you know, instant I'll say. But I don't think there's one that I can just pinpoint you guys sounding like, which I think is really fucking cool.
Oh, thanks, man.
Right on.
But it's cool. I've seen other people though saying stuff like, you know, Silver Sun Pickups, Primal Scream, The Muse. What do you think about being compared to bands like those?
We love it.
Yeah.
We don't mind if someone wants to pinpoint it. I think everyone has their own vision of what it sounds like. And if you're getting compared to those bands, that must mean something's sounding pretty good.
As a 2-year-old band, how is it, or what does it feel like to be sort of making it like so soon?
It's
great. It's fun. It makes you want to keep working harder.
Yeah.
You don't mind putting the extra time in. You get so much support from everybody around you. It's amazing when it starts to happen how much it feels easier even though you're working harder.
Yeah, I mean, we're loving every moment, dude. It's that's my email. Sorry.
No worries, man. It's the internet.
Take another drink.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to that. So, yeah, we're starting to break through. We're so excited about it. This is exactly what we want. It keeps the whole thing so exciting, and actually seeing the reaction and the encouragement from the community and everyday new fans jumping on board. It's what every band wants to see. You know, it's as exciting as it gets. And I got to tell you, for the amount of times in the past, just being in other bands and trying things. This is just making it a no-brainer. We got to keep doing what we're doing.
So is it safe to assume that you guys don't have day jobs? Like, you guys are just rock and roll?
We're pretty rock and roll.
Yeah.
Actually, half the band does not have day jobs, but we are the two that do. But it actually involves everything that you see going on in the band. So it's all wrapped in together. We're pretty much music 24/7.
Yeah.
I produce other artists. I have a studio I run.
What artists are you producing?
Right now, there's a guy out here in LA named Eddie Cohn. We met last year at South by Southwest, and he hired me to do remixing for him this summer. So put out some remixes, and that led to now we're working on his next album together.
Yeah, another thing he's also worked on, I like to brag about him a little bit. He did a deal for Amnesty International, and we got to work with Seal and Beck.
Oh, wow.
And
That's hot.
Producer Mark Hudson. And yeah, they actually went to his house too and did some work at his house in his studio. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, there's actually, just came out Tuesday, Chimes of Freedom, the big Bob Dylan tribute for the 50th anniversary Amnesty.
You worked on that?
Yeah, I was the
Okay,
audio
okay.
engineer on the Jeff Beck and Seal track called, what was it, Like a Rolling Stone. And what were the other two was Evan Rachel Wood singing I'd Have You Anytime, and also Billy Bragg singing Lay Down Your Weary Tune.
That's a day job, bro. That's a nice one, man. Congratulations, dude. That's cool,
Yeah, I
dude.
just stay creative, man, whatever I can do in this world like that, you know.
What other creative shit do you do? Is making music the only thing that you do?
Pretty much, but like for the band, I do all our graphics,
Yeah,
so I'm like the artist behind a lot of what you see visually.
What do you do during the day, like when you're not working or doing music, dude?
He's getting called by AT&T by overusing his cell phone from working too much.
Yeah. It pretty much never stops.
Are you super multitasker? Are you the multitasker of the band?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Do you do the Twitter and all that shit?
Yeah, I do some of the social networking. We split it between me and the singer.
And what about the website?
I won't say
Your
who
website's
does-
pretty together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've developed a website, although we're about to probably make a whole new, brand new change on the whole thing. We might move to a new platform.
I really dig the whole member thing that you guys got going on. Like, not all bands are doing that vibe. Like, that's the first thing I noticed when I went to your website. Is like,
Oh no shit.
yeah, I thought that's cool, man. Like, does that work out for you? A lot of people sign up for that.
That part of the fan base is growing. I mean, there are several hundred people on there, but not nearly as much in our social networking areas. I'm glad to hear you dig that though, because the intention was to like kind of create a home, a little bit of our own space that as we grow should grow and like right now it's okay. It's going to get more exciting. We just put up some freebies and some like news stories you can't see other places and photos you don't see other places. But I hope to see that become like its own little like, you know, center where people go just because they're just freaking out to get things that no one else has.
You guys tour a lot?
Yeah, we're touring a bunch.
Who have you toured with?
Well, as of now, we've been doing our own tours.
Oh, nice.
So we did 3 mini tours last year, about a month and a half apiece, anywhere from LA all the way to like Austin because we go to South by the last 2 years, up and down North and Southwest coast. But we are taking some leaps into some bigger touring. So our next big tour starts in March. From LA to Austin, and the plans are up in the air because we have some offers to actually jump on some bigger tours. So,
What if someone went to your show for the first time? What should they expect?
pretty wild live show.
Yeah, it's high energy. It's a lot of emotion that we put into it. You know, we perform. You know, some places there's lots of. You know, it's a big venue or a bigger venue, and it's packed and it's crazy. And the other ones are smaller. Like, you know, when you're traveling on tour, and we get, you know, a handful of like 20 people or 30 people, and we perform the exact same way. Just even if it was, you know, at rehearsal, we perform like we're on stage performing. We're just ball of energy up.
We did a live radio show a week ago, and there were no cameras, but we still acted like we were on a massive stage.
Yeah, it was crazy.
We jump around. We're like more like a real classic rock band that moves around and puts the energy into the show.
Yeah.
How many full-length albums have you put out already?
We did our first release was a full length at the beginning of 2010.
Is that 5 Years of Darkness? Is that
That's the one. Other than that, we've been in EP mode. I think we've done like 5 or 6 EPs since then.
I want to talk to you about that, but before we talk about that, I have an intern. His name's Mark. Every time we have a band on that has an album out, we try to take the full-length album that they got. If, in this case, that album, and we listen to it. We listen to the whole album 5 times, and we decide which song we think is the best each.
Nice.
And then we put it out there, and then we like to ask the band who's cooler, me or Mark. Okay. So I've got off that album. I've got my pick, and he gave me his pick. His pick is Desert Rain.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and that doesn't look good. That doesn't sound good. That I liked One Way Ride off of that album.
Nice.
Who's cooler? I will not be offended, because right now I'm winning. I'm winning against him in the long run, but I will not be offended if Mark wins. Those are our picks. Who's cooler, me or Mark?
All right, I guess for the album side, One Way Ride is cool, but we still play Desert Rain live.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's a toss. I almost have to flip a coin. You guys picked probably the 2 best songs.
I know.
Even in my mind.
So it's hard to say throw
Like-
anybody under the bus on that one.
We go crazy with Desert Rain. It's actually our big climax in the set live. But One Way Ride has had major presence. It was on the MotoGP video game. We did a whole remix EP, people just remixing that song. So
Yeah.
you're both fucking cool,
Okay.
man.
All right. So I'm gonna put that down for halves. Okay. We're all gonna get half points on that one, man.
Uh-oh.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Hopefully you can
But-
still get to that.
Yeah, I'm still gonna tell Mark that he's not cool. He's an intern. No, he's cool. He's cool. He does a lot of stuff here. That's not good. Okay, so you're talking about your whole EP trip that you've been on. I haven't, I've just got turned on to you guys, and we've been getting into it. So obviously we're sort of late to the game here. I figured out that you guys put out a trilogy of EPs.
Yeah, you got it.
And the third one just came out, right?
It's coming out on Tuesday.
Okay, so it's fresh. It's fresh. This is good.
Brand new.
Why did you go about that way? What is the theory behind all of this? This.
There's a whole bunch of reasons. The first reason probably stemmed back before the trilogy began, which was the very end of 2010. We started recording some new songs, which became the Silent Revolution EP. We produced that ourselves at my studio, and as we were working on it, the pressure of the full album was one thing, and we just felt like here's a collection of a great start to an album that is already sounding great on its own, and the world isn't buying albums. They're on iTunes. They're downloading a song at a time. Even if you get a song on a radio or on a TV show, it's a song, and that's what people are latching on to. And so we just felt like let's not worry about how many songs and just put out little batches at a time till we really feel like we got what we want to call, our sophomore second album. It's a little tough to get criticized with an album too. So we didn't want to pigeonhole it yet and kind of just get as much material as we can out. So we got that one done. And then right after that, we put out the remix EP. And then this summer, this is how we got to the trilogy. We recorded with Chris Goss, who produced Queens of the Stone Age, many albums, a few of the Uncle albums, Duke Spirit, The Cult, and so on. And anyway, he took us out to the desert at Rancho de la Luna where they did all the old Queens albums at Dave Catching's studio. And we ended up doing 3 songs. So those 3 songs, when we were finished, we were really trying to figure out how do we make this the most exciting thing we could possibly do with that. And we just decided let's not do it as one EP and be done. Let's do 3 EPs based on each song, and then we went and added our own B-sides for each one. So it was Freak Show, Just a Part of Me, and One by One was recorded by Chris Goss. And those are the lead songs on each EP, so there you go.
So is there an album in the works, or you guys are just like, this is our stuff, have at it?
Well, no matter what, yeah, this is our stuff. But we're talking about it. We're trying to find. We may go back with Chris. We're exploring all the options for our next recording session with a bigger producer. In the meantime, we may release a pretty underground package of sometime this year of like all that music combined into one thing, plus new demos, new songs, behind the scenes from the studio, and so on. But I would say expect an album sometime in the next year, as a full length. In between, you'll see all kinds of other little stuff coming out from us.
Right. When I speak to bands, I like to ask a few questions that I think ask these same questions all the bands so that our audience can get a sense of each band. Do you want to answer some of these questions?
We'll surely try.
Okay. Favorite alcoholic beverage?
For me, it's Jameson.
Kettle One soda.
Have you guys ever been so drunk you fell down?
Yes.
Not yet.
What?
No.
I think I caught you a few times.
Yeah.
He's never fallen off the drum kit.
Okay.
I haven't fallen out of the kit yet. Working on it, but
one day, sir. Unicorns, are they overrated?
What, the band or the animal?
The animal.
Unicorns?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys
I like Ligers better.
You like Ligers?
Yeah.
See, that speaks a lot about you, my friend. Deserted Island, which one of you guys in the bands get eaten first?
Holy shit.
Wow. Probably me, because I have sticks.
There you go.
I can fight them off. What is that? What happened?
He's got more meat on his bones. I think I'll agree with that.
You get eaten first. Favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Yeah?
Yeah. Wow. Shit.
Shit.
Yeah.
What do you guys look at like on your pizza?
Sorry, I'm just cracking up here.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
Well, he's the one we can't get most of our items thanks to this guy. He's he's a picky eater.
I like pepperoni and sausage pizza, and everybody else likes everything else. So, you know, I put a cramp in their style.
No, it's usually the meat lovers. We just get all meat.
So, craziest place you ever played?
Craziest.
What do you mean by crazy?
I don't know. I really don't know. It's just what they tell me to say.
Well,
Like most interesting. What's you know? Most people say this little tiny bar with titties and fucking midgets. You know, that kind of shit. But
we played in, what was the town? That tiniest. We played at the one of the top rated diviest bars in America.
Yeah, it was in wow, it was Kansas. It was in Kansas. I can't remember the hell we played.
Basically, it fit the band and a few people. It's kind of like the Doll Hut.
Yeah, it was a tiny little bar. It was top 12, I guess, on Playboy's Lift dive bar in the U.S. It was across the street from Kansas State.
It was the smallest bar you've ever seen.
Yeah.
what inspires you guys?
Oh boy, the problems of the world, really.
Yeah.
All this bullshit we deal with every day.
Mark just looked at me and he doesn't talk much. He's got a paper. He was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that was our Miss America answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say he kind of went like.
Yeah, you know what? Like, honestly, a lot of the lyrics are pretty political, and you know, it may seem cheesy, but we hope we can get big enough to help change things.
You guys, so you see, you're pretty political, is what you're saying. Like political, as in like the shitty stuff, or like politics.
Not you know, politics playing. We try not to give our personal views on like one side or the other. It's more like the obvious, like our government is screwed up. That kind of shit.
Now that you said that, I want to ask just like one question. The whole piracy thing.
Yes.
That's going on. I'm sure you have a point of view on this, because it's kind of big and it's kind of affects everybody. Kind of. Are you for it or against it? Why or why not?
Well, completely against it. It's an invasion of our own constitution and everything. It's just so backwards. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too. That's cool. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, it's bullshit. That's my other favorite word.
Drink, everybody, drink. It's bullshit, motherfuckers. Where do you see yourselves in? You know, if you guys weren't doing rock and roll or music, what would you guys be doing?
I'd probably be on the art side. I love the graphic stuff that I do. I'm actually a hobbyist photographer. So I'd probably get way deep into that. It's a start.
Michael?
Wow. If I wasn't doing this, I'd probably be wanting to drive a race car.
As a drummer, who do you look up to as a drummer?
Wow, there's so many. Well, John Bonham's influence. Stuart Copeland's a very big influence. Very close friend of mine, who's a friend of mine, Barry Chenault. He's played with a lot of, like P-Funk and Gap Band. And I learned from him just the showmanship, not necessarily more of how the style of playing, but more of being crazy while you're playing and being different. He was a big influence. But yeah, those are the kind of three that kind of really interest me.
Is it true that the drummer's always the coolest guy in the band?
I'm going to drink to that.
I just thought that was hot. How about you, bro? Like, you're a guitar player, right?
Yeah, guitar. The influences go all over the place. Also do a lot of synth work. I'm a huge fan of like Air and Daft Punk and that kind of stuff. But for guitars, I'd say Jimi Hendrix and George Harrison taught me how to play guitar.
That's cool. I'm a big John Frusciante fan. Do you think he's cool?
Huge John Frusciante fan.
Okay, good. I
actually worked with John for about 10 years ago. When I first got to LA, I was at a studio as the assistant engineer called Swing House, and we did a bunch of recordings for one of his solo projects. And then also we were part of the By the Way album that the Chili Peppers did.
Uh-huh.
So I got to sit in the room. We did the pre-production. So for 4 months, I was the only guy allowed in the room that they were rehearsing and writing the songs in to like record all their ideas and make sure they got them back at the end of the day to listen to overnight. But the best part is John Frusciante would come an hour early, and he would sit there and just play guitar and warm up for an hour playing anything and everything. And it was probably the coolest. I can't even tell you, dude. Just sitting there watching this guy go off. Plus, he's a hero, and like I always looked up to that growing up. So he's badass.
So is it safe to assume that you feel like the Red Hot Chili Peppers are better with him than without?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. That's good to know. Now,
yeah, he's kind of the cool indie element, you know.
He's like the coolest dude in my book, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Flea's a badass.
No, he's badass, but I think John Frusciante, he's got something that's different.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to talk about that I haven't hit you up with? I mean, I don't know if I really talked about anything that you guys want to talk about. I just talk. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Do you have like things to promote? You want to tell people?
Yeah, I mean, let's just go through like what's been going on a little bit. I mean, basically, we're releasing this new EP called One by One. It stems from our recording sessions with Chris Goss, which were just so psyched to have had a chance to work with him, and the experience in the desert was something I'll never forget. I think we all share. I mean, it was like such a spiritual kind of music story that hopefully becomes, you know, in due time, like something everyone wants to know about. But it was that kind of session, and we just can't believe it happened. And
he's recording guitar in the kitchen while Dave Catching's washing dishes. It's awesome. I love it.
Dave Catching was the original Queen's guitar player and now plays in Eagles death metal.
That's pretty sick.
So it's his studio, and then he ends up playing on One by One.
Yeah.
So that's even sicker.
The solo on One by One is mainly him, and then I got a little dueling line going in the background. The story's bad. I mean, we're like up, it's like midnight, and he's cooking. He loves to cook. He's cooking us red beans and rice every day.
It's really good.
He's got like this crazy recipe. But anyway, he's like in the kitchen, which is like next to we're in the living room, in the control room, and he just leans over and he goes, "Hey, dude, I think I got an idea. Is it okay if I lay something down?" And like this whole time I've been telling him, like, "Can you play, like, would you be on a record?" I'm like trying to get him to do something. And it's so polite, and he just tore it up. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about this release. The album cover is a pretty neat story. We did a featured photo album contest with Filter Magazine back in December, and that's why you see all these images of shadows on the album cover. It's kind of a cool story. And
that's the iPad one, right? That's the iPad story? That's
yeah,
you guys gave an iPad away, right? For whoever sent in their picture or whoever sent the best one in? Is that what it was?
Yeah, best picture won the iPad. But everyone who sent something in got on the cover.
Oh, that's hot. So let's win.
Everyone won.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's pretty much it. I just want to make sure, you know, we're announcing that, which is next Tuesday. And if you're in LA, we're playing a release show at a place called Club Moscow in Hollywood on February 1st, which is next Wednesday. And if there's anybody listening that can go, if you email us at info@standingshadows.com, you are free on the guest list.
Nice. I'll put that out on Twitter for you guys, too.
Yeah, another freebie. There you go.
There you guys are awesome. You guys are giving shit away left and right, man. Fuck the man. Give it away for free. No.
Whatever.
So everybody that wants to find your music, wants to be part of your fan club or member or whatever, they're going to want to go to where?
First stop, standingshadows.com or standingshadows.com/mailing list. That gets you right. That gets you all the news all the time. If you're a Facebook or Twitter junkie, it's just facebook.com/standingshadows or twitter.com/standingshadows. And we're constantly blasting all our shit there too.
On Twitter, how's Twitter going for you?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Fan base is growing every day.
Yeah, I enjoy the Twitter. It's my sort of my avenue.
The
get out there. I twat all day. I twat all day, and I try to I twat with as many people as I can twat with. Awesome. Okay.
You know, I think his favorite word is shit because he said shit probably like 25 times so far in this interview.
Someone else will be drunk during this show for sure.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go back and find them all and make sure each one makes the live show. That's
Nice.
for sure. Just for hype the audience up or whatever.
Yeah, let's get him drinking.
I will be. That's part of my act too. It's not an act. It's addiction. It's like 1:30 and I'm already fucking drunk.
You're also in Hawaii, right?
I am in Hawaii and it's burning up. Do you have any questions you want to ask me? I love to hear questions.
Where in Hawaii are you?
I am on the island of Oahu.
The
The Isle of Oahu. I am currently in a town called Ewa Beach. It's kind of like out in the boonies. It's kind of like the desert of Hawaii, but
Nice.
it's like right on the water. I'm like, I'm like 5 minutes away, man. I'm a
Sounds
5-minute
nice.
walk, dude. It's nice, man. It gets really fucking hot here, though. Really hot.
I think when we get to our next level and we can have a studio somewhere else, it'll probably be in Hawaii.
It would be a smart move. Make sure you have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Because it is hot. It's like the one thing that I would say. If you can't live in hot, it's not paradise. Other than that,
Yeah.
it is, man. And if you have money, because it's expensive as fuck here. It's really
Yeah.
expensive.
All right.
Before I let you guys go, do you guys want to cut me like a little bumper? Like, hey, this is Standing Shadows. You're listening to Beneath Everything with Ronnie Rucker.
You got it.
And so...
It might be, when you're ready, you just say, we're Standing Shadows, and I'll say the rest.
All right. So you ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. We're Standing Shadows.
And we're listening to Beneath Everything with Ronnie Rucker.